They finally banned Grief and Legacy. Took them long enough. So why are we playing Vexing Bauble in the Epic Storm? I'm about to tell you. Let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. The deck list in front of you is not mine. You heard me correctly. It's actually Quentin Coldman, or they also go by Ella1 on Magic Online. But Quentin Coldman in the Legacy Storm Discord, and you can find that link in the description down below. Well, Quentin has been on an absolute heater with the Epic Storm with the 75 cards in front of you. Quentin, last I knew, was 22-2 with this deck list, featuring main deck copies of Vexing Bauble. The idea is that you combine them with Veil of Summer, and in fact, I just did this with Block Saga Storm. You can find that video in the card above. So the idea is that Vexing Bauble makes it so that 0 mana spells or cards that are cast for free get countered. But Veil of Summer says that your cards can't be countered, therefore you can play through Vexing Bauble, and then all of your opponent's cards like Force of Will, Force of Vigor, Force of Negation, Mindbreak Trap, Surgical Extraction, all that good stuff will be countered. So that is why Vexing Bauble is desirable. And it also protects things like Echo of Aeons, Galvanic Relay, all that good stuff. So we're interested in trying Vexing Bauble. Quentin cut Ponder. I'm a little unsure about that because Ponder is a sort of glue card in our deck that's looking to combine Dark Ritual with Beseech the Mirror or Lion's Eye Diamond with Echo of Aeons. That said, Quentin's results are incredibly impressive, so I'm going to play Quentin's list today and just see how it feels. So shoutouts to Quentin for, innovating the strategy that's really been working. And, well, adapting the Epic Storm, whatever. I don't care about the specifics. But then in the sideboard, Quentin really liked the video I did with Psychic Frog, where I went undefeated. You can find that video in the card above as well. So Quentin brought that back. Because we don't need the sideboard Thoughtseizes anymore when you have the Vexing Baubles for Mindbreak Trap, you want them for stifle effects, but Burning Wish grabs the one in the sideboard anyway before you cast a Tendrils of Agony, so I think that's probably fine. So Quentin instead is looking to use Psychic Frog for bad matchups, like those prison matchups, where you can combine it with Echo of Aeons and then win the game that way. We also have Wear Down now from Bloomburrow, and that is really good in those prison matchups as well, another Burning Wish target. Quentin is choosing to run the Grapeshot in the sideboard over Approach of the Second Sun. I'm not sure how I feel about either, if I'm being honest. You do want a way to beat Veil of Summer, but I don't know if I care about the One Ring anymore. The One Ring continues to go down in popularity and Legacy, so maybe Grapeshot is right. I'm not really sure anymore. If you have strong opinions on that, put those in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. But that's the deck tech for today. This is Vexing Bauble, the Epic Storm. Let's see how it plays. I'll see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We are on the play. Post banned the Epic Storm, where the card banned was Grief. I think that maybe they probably should have hit Psychic Frog, and there's not another ban and restricted announcement before Eternal Weekend. So Psychic Frog will be legal for Eternal Weekend North America and Europe. There's a chance that it's banned before Eternal Weekend Japan, but I think it's probably a mistake on their side. We will keep this. Very powerful hand. Our opponent with a mulligan to 6. They have kept 6 cards. We'll play Misty Rainforest. Let's try Lion's Eye Diamond. Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Storm is 3. We'll fetch. So I could go Veil of Summer into Echo of Aeons, or I can just Galvanic Relay for 4. I think I just want the Galvanic Relay, because if I have an average Galvanic Relay, I should be able to Veil into a Beseech the Mirror win next turn. We will Galvanic Relay for 4. Chrome Mox. Okay, well that will give us Metalcraft, another Chrome Mox, Dark Ritual, and a Brainstorm. Okay. Blooded Strand for a Tundra and Ponder. They shuffled off the Ponder. We find another Dark Ritual. That was actually perfect. That made this very easy. Imprint Dark Ritual. We will cast Dark Ritual. They force will exiling Dress down. We will Veil of Summer. We drew a land. Okay. So our opponent's probably on Stifle Knot based on them exiling a Dress down and fetching out Tundra. We will fetch with the Bloodstained Mire. And this should just be a pretty easy win. We will hold control. We'll play Burning Wish. In response, we'll add 3 black. We'll grab Beseech the Mirror. Play Brainstorm. Storm is 6. And the opponent concedes. Alright, so we're facing Stifle Knot. We probably want Beseech because that deck does tend to play Null Rod in the sideboard, so we're definitely interested in that. Maybe shave one of each Mox. I do like Vexing Bauble in this matchup. I don't think that this is a very good Psychic Frog matchup, so I think we're just going to do the shaving of one of each Mox for Beseiju and call it a day. Game number 2, we're on the draw. We've opened up a reasonable hand. We will keep this. Our opponent has taken a mulligan, Tundra, and Ponder. Yep, they did not shuffle with Ponder. We'll play Misty Rainforest and pass. So we're choosing to play out the Misty here because the Stifle Knot deck is a Wasteland deck. And you might be thinking, but they have Stifles. They could stifle your fetch land. Yeah, they could, but how's that like any worse or better than just like playing into a Wasteland? Like, Wasteland is they just get to do it, where like if they want to stifle my Misty Rainforest, they have to hold open mana forever. So, like, I just don't care. And there's the Phyrexian Dreadnought, obvious, and now they will play Stifle effect. Stifle itself, perfect. Okay, we do have Beseiju in hand, so we could just destroy this Phyrexian Dreadnought. We will fetch, let's grab Undercity Sewers. We'll Surveil 1. I want that. They have 3 cards in hand. We'll play out a Lotus Petal. Brainstorm. A lot of lands. Okay. We'll definitely get rid of the Gaia's Will here. And Volcanic Island. So we have to decide what our game plan is from here. Like, do we fetch? I could play out Diamond, fetch, play Bauble, but I'm not sure if that's even any good. The problem with using the Beseiju is if they stifle me trying to kill the Phyrexian Dreadnought. So I could just get rid of the Lotus Petal right now and not have to worry about it. I think I'm going to choose to redraw the Volcanic Island that's on top of my deck next turn, and we will destroy the Phyrexian Dreadnought. Pass the turn. They play land number 4. 3 cards remain in their hand. Doorkeeper Thrall. Okay. We'll play the Misty. Pass the turn. So this does stop Chrome Mox from triggering the imprint. So Chrome Mox no longer does anything. They play Meticulous Archive. That's interesting. They could have got this with the Beseiju and they didn't. So I wonder if this was in their hand. They have 2 cards remaining. They attack for 1. We'll go to 18. We will fetch. Grab the Commercial District. I want Veil of Summer. We will keep that. Play Volcanic. Let's try Lion's Eye Diamond. So if they have a consign, they could have tried to counter the diamond, but they didn't, so cool for us. We'll play Vexing Bauble, and let's try Galvanic Relay for 3. Next turn, I can Veil of Summer into Burning Wish, Beseech the Mirror. Burning Wish, Lion's Eye Diamond, Dark Ritual. That's a pretty good 3 cards for Galvanic Relay. Alright, they attack for 1. We go to 16. They have 3 cards in their hand. And speaking of Beseech the Mirror, there it is. Let's try a Veil of Summer. It resolved. So our spells cannot be countered. Lion's Eye Diamond. Nope, still can't be countered. Okay, we'll play Dark Ritual. I don't think I'm actually going to end up using this Beseech the Mirror. I want to Burning Wish into Thoughtseize, so if our opponent has double Stifle, we can easily beat it. We'll grab Thoughtseize, play the Thoughtseize. They have Stifle, Force of Will, and now they're just dead. Alright, so we will discard our hand, add 3 black, discard our hand, add 3 red. We will cast Burning Wish, yes. And now we will grab Beseech the Mirror. We will cast Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing the Vexing Bauble. So you might be thinking, Bryant, but the Force of Will. We've already resolved Veil of Summer. They are dead. And now we will Gaia's Will. So this is why I wanted to Thoughtseize first, because if our opponent was sitting on double Stifle, this line beats double Stifle. But they had a hand that just ultimately was not good enough. And we have smoked Stifle Knot in round number 1. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Stick around and watch the rest, and I will see you in the second round. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the play with Vexing Bauble, the Epic Storm. Here we have double Vexing Bauble. So how would this hand look with double Ponder instead? You would imprint a Ponder, cast a Ponder looking for Lion's Eye Diamond, and that's like sort of your only hope here. I don't think this hand is a keep. We'll ship it. Even with a double Ponder, I don't think I would keep this. This seems fine. We'll try it. Bottom the Chrome Mox. We will play Commercial District, Surveil. I will keep the Veil of Summer on top. They play Bloodstained Mire. Okay. For Underground Sea. Dark Ritual. I might be dead. Lion's Eye Diamond. I feel dead. We're playing the Mirror Match. And they had the advantage of knowing we were playing the Mirror Match. Okay. Looks like I am very dead. I am super dead. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with not knowing we're playing the Mirror Match. I am good to concede here. Okay. So I don't think Galvanic Relay is super good in the Mirror, but we also don't have anything better to board in. Like, I could bring in the one Thoughtseize, but I think it's actually better in the sideboard. You could swap Galvanic Relay with, like, Beseech Ooze, but I'm not sure if I actually like that. I think we're just supposed to resubmit. Game number 2, we're on the play again. So this hand is just too fair. I don't think that this is good enough. It has Vexing Bauble, but it doesn't do anything. This hand would not be a keep with Ponders. We will go to 5. I literally can't play my Vexing Bauble. Our opponent is also mulligan to 5. I'm going to go to 4. Like, this hand just is not good enough. This hand is. We will keep. We will bottom Song of Creation, a second Vexing Bauble, and a land. Our opponent has also mulligan to 4. We'll play Misty Rainforest, play out the Lion's Eye Diamond. We will fetch, grab Volcanic Island, and Vexing Bauble. Pass the turn. They play Bloodstained Mire and Thoughtseize. Goodbye, Burning Wish. Misty Rainforest, okay. We'll play that and pass. They have no follow-up. I'm going to fetch here and grab a Surveil land. Let's do Undercity Sewers. Don't want a Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. I guess if we draw Beseech the Mirror, it's okay. Bayou. We'll play that out. Pass the turn. They pass. We draw another Lion's Eye Diamond, we'll send it, and they're just passing. Alright, I'm going to fetch in my main phase here in case I hit an Echo of Aeons off my Surveil. We'll grab Commercial District, put that to the graveyard, or if it was a Beseech the Mirror, I could have drawn a card off of the Vexing Bauble. They found a green land, so this means that if they have Veil of Summer, they might be able to beat my Bauble. Okay, come on deck, pretty please. So now we have to wonder, do they even have a Veil of Summer in hand, or should I try to spike an action spell here? I think I'm going to pass. Land number 3. It appears that they don't have it. We finally draw a Burning Wish. Okay. Dark Ritual. Let's draw a card using the Vexing Bauble. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Chrome Mox. So this is a game where I want to win with Grapeshot. It's going to be easier not having to approach of the Second Sun. We'll cast the Burning Wish. In response, add 3 black. Yes. We'll grab Beseech the Mirror, cast Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing Chrome Mox. We'll grab another Beseech the Mirror, sacrifice Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll grab Gaea's Will, hold priority, make 3 black. Alright, Storm is 8 and our opponent's at 17. We'll play the Lion's Eye Diamond, play Lion's Eye Diamond, Dark Ritual, play the Mox Opal, Storm 12. Lotus Petal can be Storm 13. We'll play Bloodstained Mire. We'll fetch down to 16, grab our Underground Sea. We'll play another Lion's Eye Diamond, Chrome Mox, Storm 15. We'll play the Vexing Bauble, just because we can. And now we'll tap for a red, play the Burning Wish. Yes. Grab Grapeshot, sacrifice for a red, and now we will cast the Grapeshot. Alright, well we took game number 2 on a mulligan to 4. But now we're on the draw for game number 3. Our opponent's taken a mulligan to 6. My concern is that this hand doesn't actually do anything, so we're going to send it back. Our opponent's on a list with a bunch of copies of Thoughtseize, which is dangerous for us, but it doesn't matter if our hand doesn't function. I'm going to go to 5. This is a keepable hand. The plan here would be to put Gaea's Will and a single copy of Veil of Summer on the bottom. Alright, our opponent has mulligan to 5. We will bottom 2 green cards. Let's go. I do wish that the Undercity Sewers was an untapped land, but we might not even get to keep these 5 cards anyway. Like, our opponent could just go Lion's Eye Diamond into Echo of Aeons. Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Lion's Eye Diamond. If their last card is Burning Wish, I am dead. And it appears it is. Alright, so we got turn 1. They should sacrifice Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, they messed up. They missed the guaranteed turn 1. They had a Beseech the Mirror win. Let's see if we get to punish them. They have 3 mana floating. My new hand is not bad. Come on, pass the turn. They play a Brainstorm. We want them to pass the turn. You missed your guaranteed lethal on turn 1. Get punished. Come on, pass. Pass the turn. Pass the turn. And I'm dead. Okay. Nothing matters. Life is meaningless. From Mox Imprinting Song of Creation, another Mox Opal, and Burning Wish. That'll do. Alright, so we are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, we're on the play. Our opponent's Goldfish history is full of blue decks. I'm going to assume that's what they're on today. Alright, so we have a hand that does not have Metalcraft. I think we have to send this one back. This is a hand where I wish that these Vexing Baubles were Ponders, because if these were Ponders, this is a pretty easy keep. I mean, I think we keep this and get rid of Chrome Mox. Devourer of Destiny, huh? So they're not on a blue deck, and I kept these Vexing Baubles. We'll play out a Vexing Bauble, pass the turn. Wasteland. Okay. Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll play out the Bloodstained Mire and pass the turn. Ancient Tomb. Chalice of the Void on 1. Okay. We'll fetch. Let's grab Undercity Sewers. Get rid of the Brainstorm. Burning Wish was not a bad one. Let's draw a card using the Bauble. Play out Lion's Eye Diamond and pass. Eldrazi Temple into Thoughtseer. They take a copy of Burning Wish. I think we're supposed to pass here, because if I draw another red card, I can play out this Burning Wish. They attack. We go to 15. Glaring Fleshraker and another Wasteland. Brutal. Okay. So, I'm a mana short of a win, actually. I think I'm supposed to just pass. I think I need to quit looking at this Beseech the Mirror like an action spell, because with the Chrome Mox draw, I could use the sideboard Beseech the Mirror, so all I need to do is find another piece of mana. They attack, we'll take 6. Cavern of Souls. Well, now they have mana open for Kozilek's Command, which is a problem. We don't need Vexing Bauble, and that doesn't do it. So I guess my only choice here is to try to Echo of Aeons into a miraculous win through Chalice of the Void. Alright, we'll play Burning Wish, grab the Echo. Spin that wheel. Storm is 3. This wins through Chalice of the Void. Alright, so they're at 14. We'll grab Volcanic. Hold control, we'll play the Burning Wish. And then we'll add black. And the opponent concedes, so we get game number 1 over Eldrazi. We want Beseiju. And then Quentin's list is not playing Chain of Vapor, it's just the 2 Besejus. So then you have a Void Snare and a Wear Down. You don't want to leave both on the board, so I think we're going to bring in the Void Snare, and then you can side out the Galvanic Relays. Is Psychic Frog fast enough in this matchup? That's another question. I mean, it's supposed to be good against Prison. Maybe we'll board out the Veils, even though they're good against Chalice of the Void on 0. Let's try this. I believe I'm supposed to keep this. Hopefully we can get a little froggy. Let's just play the Misty Rainforest and pass. Ancient Tomb. No! Chalice into Thoughtseer. Devastating. That's brutal. We will fetch, grab the Commercial District, Surveil, get rid of the Bayou, I don't want it, and another Vexing Bauble. Okay, we'll pass. We go to 15, and they have a Wasteland. We will float a green, and I think we're forced to kill this Chalice of the Void. Grab Underground Sea, destroy the Chalice, and another one. Cool. We draw Chrome Mox. I've had enough with this one. Let's go to game 3, where we will be on the play. Alright, game 3 on the play. No, we can't keep that. Am I supposed to keep this? Let's try it. We'll bottom Volcanic Island. Or maybe I'm supposed to keep one less fetch land. They have a Devourer of Destiny. I think I just want to turn 1 the Psychic Frog. We'll play the Frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Can't mind break that. They have their Devourer of Destiny trigger. Wasteland, Wasteland once upon a time. So whatever they kept is better than a Wasteland. Or another Wasteland. I have Ugin. Gaea's Will. Let's cast a Brainstorm. Interesting. I think I'm going to put the Void Snare on top. And then we'll play out the Lion's Eye Diamond, fetch, Undercity Sewers, surveil, put it to the graveyard, discard a Bloodstained Mire. Now it's attack for 2. Swing. We draw the Gaea's Will again. Yeah, we'll pass. Sure. They play Once Upon a Time, and they find a Gaea's Cradle with no creatures in play. Cavern of Souls, naming Eldrazi. So it's worth noting the current lists of this deck do play like 3 Mindbreak traps in the board, so this Psychic Frog is not bad. Burning Wish. Let's play the Burning Wish. Yes. We'll grab an Echo of Aeons, discard the Gaea's Will, discard Commercial District, and then let's give the Frog Flying, which also we can just exile cards from our graveyard we don't really want. And I think the card we don't really want here is probably an extra... Now let's do the Commercial District. And now we can discard the Echo of Aeons to the Frog. We will cast Echo. Storm is 2, so he gets underneath Mindbreak Trap. Okay. I will fetch for Underground Sea. Let's play a Brainstorm in case I hit another, like, Echo of Aeons plus mana. I don't. I'm going to hide Burning Wish on top underneath the Misty. Play Chrome Mox. We'll imprint Psychic Frog. Play Lotus Petal. Let's play Vexing Bauble. They Mindbreak Trap the Vexing Bauble. Discard Frog. Discard Brainstorm. And now we'll hit them for 7 in the air. We draw the Misty. So we're going to draw Burning Wish next turn, and we can get the Beseech the Mirror, and that should win the game. Our opponent plays a Sowing Myco Spawn. They grab a Cavern of Souls. We take 1 down to 17. And now they have a Wastegate Battle Mage, and they're going to bounce my Psychic Frog. That's not good. In fact, that is pretty terrible for us. And now they attack for 2, and another Glaring Fleshraker. They have 3 cards remaining. So we could, in theory, Beseech the Mirror, but I don't have any mana in my graveyard. Next turn they have 2, 5, 7, 9. So I'd go to 1, and then I'm dead to any creature they play. Or any spell they cast. I've already used the sideboard Echo of Aeons. I don't think I see a way out of this. So we'll start by fetching because I need an untapped land. I think they're still the Bayou. We will Burning Wish, grab Beseech the Mirror, and now we will cast Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing the Chrome Mox, grab Gaea's Will. So we lose the Mindbreak no matter what here. I didn't have the option of playing around it. It resolves. So now we will play Chrome Mox. How we win this? I have to Brainstorm into exactly Lion's Eye Diamond here. Play out the Lotus Petal. Alright, deck. Lion's Eye Diamond. Pretty please. Brainstorm. We did not hit Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. So I could Void Snare and bounce the Myco Spawn or something like that, but that's not a play that really keeps me in it. I also, like, cast Beseech next turn, but I'm stuck in a spot where I can't do anything with it. So I think we're just dead. I'm sure there's someone in the comments that will be like, oh, but Bryant, you can buy time. But, like, time doesn't matter here because I know that I'm drawing a card that doesn't work with Beseech. So, like, you Beseech the Mirror for the only target left in your deck, which is Song of Creation, and then you can't cast Burning Wish, so nothing matters. And if we cast the Brainstorm out of the graveyard, and if I hit Lion's Eye Diamond, I'm now a mana short because we've already played a land, and there's not another fetchable. So we did not get there. And as cool as Psychic Frog seemed, it still lost to Wastegate Battle Mage. If Psychic Frog isn't good versus the best prison deck in the format, why are we playing it? That's what I want to know. Alright, so we're now 1-2 with 2 matches left to go. You're still watching. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4, we're on the draw, and I will keep. We have a protected Echo of Aeon, so we have Veil of Summer, we have Lion's Eye Diamond, we have the Lotus Petal. If this Undercity Sewers was an Underground Sea, it would be a little bit better, but you never know what our draw step is. Plus, we could just take a turn off. I'm not really sure what our opponent's playing today, but our hand is well-rounded. They mulligan to 5. Bloodstained Mire, Lotus Petal. Are we playing the mirror match again? I mean, I would assume so. We're just going to peanut butter and jam, I guess. Lion's Eye Diamond. I'm not even going to bother playing this Undercity Sewers because I could draw a land off of the Echo. The mirror match twice in one league. Alright, spin that wheel. And we found a win. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond. I guess it's a win that loses to Veil of Summer, So I should try to... Okay, I'm going to have to Beseech the Mirror and a Gaia's Will, and that will eventually win. We'll play Dark Ritual, play the Bloodstained Mire, play Vexing Bauble, we'll fetch, grab Volcanic, we'll draw a card, draw a land, we'll play the Chrome Mox, and now we will Burning Wish. Let's make 3 black. We'll Beseech the Mirror, cast Beseech the Mirror, and our opponent concedes. Nice. Alright, game number 2 on the draw. Once again, no changes, just resubmit. Alright, we're on the draw. Our hand has Vexing Bauble. I'll try it. Swamp. So is this Black-Red Reanimator? It is. Okay. They grabbed a Gristlebrand. The 4 cards. Turn 1 Gristlebrand. Our opponent plays an Unmask. That is not good for us. Alright, after much deliberation, they discarded my Lion's Eye Diamond. Mox Opal. I'm going to main phase this Brainstorm. We'll grab Underground Sea. Brainstorm. Okay. Let's put a pair of Burning Wish on top. Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Pass the turn. They play a land. And attack for 7. We'll go to 12. They'll go up to 12. Dark Ritual. Hymn to Torok. They hit my Echo! No way. No way. Dark Ritual. I mean, I didn't know they were playing Hymn to Torok. So the problem or the fear is if they draw another Hymn to Torok and discard my land. No Hymn to Torok, so they're mono black. They choose Lotus Petal, Thoughtseize, Dauthi Voidwalker, Dark Ritual, and Bloodstained Mire. Dauthi Voidwalker, Thoughtseize, so my Vexing Bauble will become exiled. Who cares? And again, this league, we're asking for a perfect Echo of Aeons. We will fetch. Let's grab Bayou. And we will cast Echo of Aeons. Storm is 1. That is not going to do it, and I am dead on board. Alright, so game 3 coming up, and this time we'll be on the play. Game 3. So this is a turn 1 Echo. It's probably worth keeping. I'd also like to make note that last game we had 2 Vexing Baubles that sort of did nothing. I believe that game those would have been better as ponders. We will fetch. Our opponent kept 7, so their hand is good. Let's grab Underground Sea. We'll play out a Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. We will play Burning Wish. Go grab the Cyborg copy of Echo. And then we will flash back the Echo of Aeons. Storm is 4. And this is not a win, but we get to play Vexing Bauble. And if this was a ponder, we could theoretically look for a Lion's Eye Diamond or, something else, but instead we're just going to play out this Bauble. They play Bloodstained Mire for a Swamp. I will Veil of Summer, Mox Opal, and another Veil of Summer. We'll just sit tight, pass the turn. Dark Ritual, Dauthi Voidwalker. I don't love that. On the end step, we will fetch, grab Commercial District. This is the punish for not doing it in response. Alright, we're going to give our opponent an Echo of Aeons. So I knew that I could fetch in response to the Dauthi, but I was like, if I fetch in response to the Dauthi and then they play a discard spell post Dauthi, I then have to use my Lotus Petal on the Veil of Summer. So I made the calculated decision to just wait until the end step, because your odds of hitting one of 2 Echo of Aeons are so low, and that this way you play around a Thoughtseize or Hymn to Torok or something like that. Unfortunately, it's just not what happened here. They grab an Underground Mortuary. So are they playing the, what is it called? Witherbloom combo with Chain of Smog? They attack. We'll go to 15. On the end step, we'll fetch. We're at 14. Under City Sewers. Surveil away the Mox Opal. Another Veil of Summer. We will pass. And step Entomb or Gristlebrand. Land number 4. They attack for 3. We'll go to 11. I think I'll draw a card with the Vexing Bauble. Dark Ritual. So we could hardcast the Echo now. Play a land. We will fetch. Play out the Opal. I think I'm going to wait a turn. I want to try to cycle these Veil of Summers first. They grab another Underground Mortuary, and they put the card to the graveyard. They attack for 3, I go to 7. Still 4 cards in hand, and they do not cast any spells. Beseech the Mirror. Wonder if I'm supposed to try to Song win here. We will bargain away the Mox Opal. Song of Creation, we'll play it. Attempt a Veil of Summer. Okay. That was not ideal. We'll play another Veil of Summer. That's not great either. Our deck has 0s in it. Play Dark Ritual. Okay, that's a little bit better. We'll play Mox Opal. Draw 2 more. There we go. Dark Ritual. Well, it was a little hairy there for a second. and then things got better. Okay, and from here, you could just turn off your brain, like you've already won. Storm is 11, play out a Chrome Mox, we'll imprint the Relay, play another Dark Ritual, cast a Burning Wish, yes, we'll grab Grapeshot, play Vexing Bauble, we'll play the Volcanic, play Burning Wish, and the opponent concedes the match. Alright, we're 2-2 with one match left to go. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The final round, we're on the play, and I've faced her opponent a handful of times in the past, and it's always been a different deck each time, so I don't know what to assume, but this hand seems fine enough. We will try it. We'll play Misty Rainforest and pass the turn. Island into Ponder, classic. On the end step, we will fetch, grab Undercity Sewers, and Surveil 1. Keep that. Play out the Lion's Eye Diamond. Long pause here. You're going to force a will a Lion's Eye Diamond. Mox Opal. From Mox. With that trigger on the stack, we will cast a Brainstorm. And we Brainstorm locked ourselves. That's not good. Okay. I'm not going to imprint. And then we'll play the Commercial District and get rid of the Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal to the graveyard. Pass the turn. They just play Polluted Delta and pass, okay. Bayou pass. We're just in a waiting room to draw an action spell. Basic Swamp, Orcish Bowmasters. No, Limdol's Vault. So they're on like blue-black Omni. And they kept the first one. You don't see that too often off of Limdol's Vault. We should likely be dead here. That's a show and tell. Surprise, surprise. Omniscience, Cunning Wish. Firemind's Foresight. Okay. They pick up a Release the Ants. And now they're going to search their deck with Limdol's Vault to find Emrakul. I'm not going to make them click through that. We can just concede. So this should be a pretty good matchup for the Vexing Baubles. Let's resubmit and try to keep a better hand. Game number 2. Don't think I'm allowed to keep this. We will go to 6. Alright, I guess I'll keep bottom of Dark Ritual. Leyline of the Void. Okay. Marsh Flats. We will fetch, grab Undercity Sewers, and Surveil. Song of Creation to the graveyard, which is unfortunate because, like, we would like it to beat this Leyline of the Void, but I can't afford to draw a dead card right now. We will find another way through the Leyline. Play the Misty, and let's attempt a Brainstorm. Get rid of the Tendrils and the Lotus Petal. Well, if I find Beseech, I guess it's not doing anything. Yeah, we'll put the Petal back. Pass the turn. They grab Basic Swamp. No Surveil land. I feel like there should probably be an Undercity Sewers in there. Underground Sea. Nullrod. Well, I don't have any artifacts anyway. Sure. We will fetch. Grab a Commercial District. We don't need another Echo, that's for certain. Mox Opal. Pass the turn. Land number 3. Lion's Eye Diamond. Things are not looking good. They Brainstorm. Polluted Delta for another Underground Sea. Limdol's Vault. And they have found Show and Tell. Okay, Omniscience. Omniscience. And Cunning Wish. I am good to concede. Alright, well, if I'm being honest with you, I did not feel like this deck list was very good. I am happy for Quentin that they went on a 22-2 tear, but it felt really inconsistent without Ponder, which was my biggest concern. Psychic Frog didn't feel like it really meaningfully improved anything. I'm personally just going to continue to play my stock list, which would be this right here. 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Ponder. I know that it's boring, but it works. This deck list just felt like it had some flaws tonight. Maybe I just had some bad variants, but I don't know if that was actually it. It just felt like the deck didn't really function how I wanted it to. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.